All right, hello and welcome everyone. So, Baro is back for his final visit of the year, so let's talk about what he has brought for us today, including his new item, which is the Prisma Rostam Kubro armor. This is armor for dog. I mean, it is what it says it is, right? And it looks like this. It's not that crazy of a thing to think of, and this is the new item for today. I actually think it looks pretty good. Like, honestly, just from the preview, it looks like some pretty sweet armor, although obviously pretty much everything that's Prisma I'm very into, so that's not that crazy of a thing to have happen. So yeah, we have new dog armor for today, and we have a host of just other good items here, but not good items. Primed Slip Magazine. Primed Slip Magazine, not so great. Magazine capacity for pistols, not really a thing anyone should care about. The good pistols already have plenty of magazine capacity to go around and want to use better mods than this one, like Prime Target Cracker. This goes on pretty much every single one of the best pistols in Warframe. So if you don't have this, would suggest very extremely good. Most good pistols are crit ones, so no reason not to pick that up. Primed Ravage, this has less use cases because there are far fewer critical shotguns in the game. But in the cases where this is used, like the Corinth and the Vacor Hack, this is extremely good. So if you're really into shotguns, maybe this is a thing to pick up. Primed Fever Strike, this is used on a large amount of melee weapons. It's just the better Toxin mod, and it turns out Toxin is a part of both of the best damage types for melees, which is viral and corrosive, respectively. So yeah, there's that. And then we have the Axie A5 stuff. These are the Ekvosto pieces and all that still. And then besides that, we have some other cosmetics in business, but most importantly, we have the Maradetron. If you don't have this weapon, please, for the love of God, pick this weapon up. It is extremely easy to build this weapon in a way that makes it, like, fuck busted. Especially if you are a mag player. If you are a mag player and you don't have a Maradetron, you need to farm 500 ducats. I cannot express enough how important it is, if you are specifically a mag player, how much you need this weapon, because it will make your life 1,000,000% easier in every possible respect. This weapon is extremely good, even for non-mag players, though. Everyone should have one. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for the Machete Wraith. This is Mastery, so if you need to pick up some of your Machete Mastery, this is a piece of it. So that's a bit unfortunate. And then finally, we have a whole host of other cosmetics and Prisma Shade. Prisma Shade is 9,000 Mastery, and also, Shade, turns out, not a bad companion. If you like the invisibility aspects, it's going to be a good time for you. There's not really much more to be said about Shade. But yeah, you should pick this up at the very least because it is like a very good MR to ducat ratio, even if you're not going to use Shade. And then we have the Axie A2 relics, which are our Aklex stuff. Obviously, Aklex has gotten worse over time because like the power creep on secondary weapons this year has been intense. But yeah, like the Aklex are still very good. Like it's not like you're like having an unusable weapon. They're just requiring a lot of work that you could put into what I feel are better weapons on the whole. Much like the Tomb Finger kit gun, for example, I think is a considerably better version of the Aklex in a lot of different ways. And then besides that, that's pretty much all we got going on PC here, except for do not, for the love of God, buy these corrupted heavy gunner specters. They're absolutely fucking useless. But if you'd like to waste 100 ducats at a time, be my guest. So with that, let's move on over to PS4 and see what they got today. Okay, so here we are over on console. You guys also have the Axie A5 relics, which are, of course, the Ekvosto relics. I would still suggest you just farm these from bounties and stuff, but, I mean, if you really want to buy them from Baro, I guess you do you. And then besides that, in terms of mods and things, we have Fang Fuseled, which is the only slash mod here, mysteriously, along with some other stance mods. This is super not worth getting as long as it actually no, even if you're going to farm this mod, because this can be farmed from the Terror list, I would actually still not pick this up from Baro, because it's extremely expensive, and this mod's not used on anything. There's not a single weapon that I would ever use this mod on at current with the way it currently functions. So yeah, probably skip this one. Besides that, though, we have Vermilion Storm, which you should just farm instead of paying ducats for. Astral Twilight, which is really easy to farm. Just do some Kuva runs, and it's going to fall into your lap eventually. So definitely don't buy that here. And then Tempo Royale. Tempo Royale, considerably harder to farm. Also, one of, if not the best, stance in the entire game. So this one is actually worth picking up from Baro, because Tempo Royale is incredible and kind of changes the whole thing of a heavy blade and how that you might supposed to work, I suppose, because this makes your heavy blades extremely fast, and that's real nice because they usually have more than enough damage to kill things, so making them quick gets you to killing more things faster, so that's nice. Besides that, in terms of weapons, we have the Prisma Angstrom. Prisma Angstrom, not worth like investing anything into, but it is MR, so there's that. And then we have the Prisma Gurkhata, which is the exact opposite. The Prisma Gurkhata is a really good crit rifle. Surprise, it's really powerful, probably worth investing into and picking up, especially if you're a huge fan of the Gurkhata series. So yeah, probably nab this, even though it is a little expensive at 610 ducats, I know. And then it's worth noting about the Towson skin real quick. This works on the Twin Gurkhatas, but you also get the single Towson skin with this, so you could use this Towson skin on the Prisma Gurkhata, and of course the regular primary Gurkhata as well, for anyone that was wondering. Besides that, the only stuff here of note is that the Nexus Fur pattern. So the Nexus Fur pattern is the pattern I use on pretty much all of my dogs. It's my favorite one by far. So if anyone was curious as to what the pattern is that I use on my dogs, this is the one. And that's pretty much it for consoles. So yeah, that's going to be the Baro tier for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you tomorrow.